Yo, yo, yo. How you living? How you feeling? How you doing? This First Choice Fantasy. We're back today with another divisional breakdown. This week, AFC East, we got the Jets. We got the Dolphins.
AFC
the
East.
Bills, and the Patriots. I would say the NFC least is leaser than the AFC least.
Oh, by far. That's not even a question.
Okay, good. As long as we're on the same page.
That's not even a debate. The Bills alone would probably have about as much talent as like all four NFC East teams mashed together. I mean, not really, because that's four teams, but you get where I'm going.
I get what you're saying. But since today we had the AFC East. Last week we had what was it? The NFC? No, it was
AFC North.
We had the Steelers, the Bengals, and the Ravens, and the Browns. Did some, record predictions. Alex does those ones, and then
technically
we talked about their off-season additions, draft picks, yada yada yada. We're gonna do the same thing this week and have a little fantasy breakdown for each team. You know what I'm saying? So before we watch the video, before we get into this video, like, comment, share, and subscribe for the sake of us, because we want you to. Also check out firstchoicepodcast.com. We got a few articles up on there right now. Alex, you have any articles coming up anytime soon?
No.
Fair. We are in the dog days of.
If there's any that crop up in the old brain factory, we'll give them a shout.
Sounds like a plan.
Maybe.
As of right now, we have Dynasty rookie rankings. We have Alex's redraft, our rookies worth picks in redraft, pretty much, right?
Something like that.
And then dumpster diving dynasty stash. Don't know what it's called. Something like that.
Some dumpsters.
And we got another one coming out here shortly as well. Brandon, you getting into the article writing at all?
Eventually.
All right.
Eventually.
How I feel.
Alrighty. Well, first team, Alex. Let's get right into it.
I want to do the LeBron chalk thing, but I do not have any chalk, and I'm not LeBron. So, yeah, we'll just get into this. The New York Jest. New York Jest.
Ooh.
Jest, not chest.
Oh.
Jest.
On my chest. Okay.
The New York Jest, which is what Jets fans feel when they bring up the Jets. Just kidding. Nobody cares about the Jets. The Jets. All right. Lock it in now. Your coach. Fresh meat, boys. Robert Saleh. I got to love the name, love the energy, and I love the fact that he looks like a great value brand Vin Diesel. Don't know about the roster, though. It's kind of sketchy so far. Although, if anyone is going to turn this shit show around, this dude probably has the charisma for it. Although, hopefully he turns out better than the last couple defensive masterminds to leave the NFC West to be head coaches. Looking at you, Gus Bradley, because that shit didn't go too well. So maybe it'll be better here. Your quarterback, the pretty boy himself. I don't know if anyone told him what he looked like on draft night, but like someone should have said to knock it down a notch, because we're playing football. You're just going to get made fun of for that. So I'm just going to take the wait and see approach here. I watched a couple of BYU games, and I can't really say I was blown away, but I'm not a scout, and I also can't say that I was paying a lot of attention as to whether he's good or not. I just know that the NFL is a bit of a step up from the Texas States and North Alabamas of the world. So good luck. How'd the offseason go? I think this one is very much to be determined, because the draft is really the only thing we're going to remember from this. Either Wilson's good or he isn't. That's pretty much the bottom line. I'm a pretty big Elijah Moore fan, and I think the guard from USC they got, it's going to be pretty good, but none of that's going to matter for shit if Wilson busts. So, again, no pressure, kid. Now, to help out Mr. Wilson, they brought in Corey Davis, Keelan Cole, and Tevin Coleman. What a way to greet the guy. Hey, man, welcome to the Jets. Here's a Tevin Coleman. He's going to help you out. Now, you listen very closely, you can hear all the Michael Carter stands screaming in rage in the background. Hear it? You can hear it. Now, to be fair, I know I've been knocking them for this, but everything that I have just said is about 3 times more than what they did for Sam Darnold in the whole 3 seasons he was there. So honestly, Wilson should probably just be happy that they didn't strip him down, cover him in honey, and tie him to a tree in the middle of bear country. Now, as for the rest of the offseason, That's pretty much it, I think. The Jets aren't interesting yet, but they're trying, so that's good. Prediction-wise, I honestly hope they're going to be somewhere in the mediocre range. It's time for the Jets to just be the Jets again, not the Jets, despite the fact that I continue to refer to them as the Jets whenever they do anything. But, like, they deserve to at least move up to, like, regular mediocre and not trash can. So I think it's Detroit's turn to be the joke of the league. So I'm giving the Jets a 4-13 floor and an 8-9 ceiling. Still nothing special yet, but maybe we're getting there.
I can dig it. I think that's definitely realistic.
Yeah.
This season's not about their record at all. It's about whether Zach Wilson looks competent.
That's literally it. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Nothing else matters. If they hit on every draft pick but him, it'll probably still be a failure.
I agree.
All right, what do we got? What do we got fantasy-wise?
We got Zach Wilson. I guess we could talk about him, eh?
Sure. It's a bunch of unknowns.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about Wilson in I guess, dynasty? I think in a redraft, I don't even know if he's worth picking. Just because I don't think there's really
No. There's not
really
really exceptional weapons on that team to really expect anything great for year one. So in this case, for me, it's more of a dynasty stash. So, I mean, unless you think Corey Davis is going to come in and blow up the world, and Elijah Moore, rookie wide receiver, who, I mean, I don't know much about the guy, but I feel like he's probably the best receiver they've got on day one. So Denzel Mims to me is just, I think they're doing as much as they can to move on from him, and it's only been 1 year. And that's the vibe I'm getting. It's not like, I mean, I referenced the Raiders. They drafted Ruggs and Brian Edwards, and I mean, they added a few weapons, but they didn't draft a guy. They didn't bring in a free agent at the caliber of Corey Davis. I feel like Corey Davis is more than who would Raiders bring in? John Brown?
I would say John Brown's better than Corey Davis, but what do I know?
I think healthy John Brown is better than Corey Davis.
That's fair. I take injury in consideration with that, but
so did their contracts.
Yeah, I'm looking at the moves they're making, and it looks like Denzel Mims is in the background. Who knows? He might pop off, but you know,
they love themselves some Keelan Cole.
And
they paid money for Davis, and they drafted Elijah Moore.
And they kept Jamison Crowder.
That too.
It's just a lot of moves just burying Denzel Mims. That's what I see with those moves. It's like, God damn, why did we take Mims so early last year?
So seeing as we are in the wide receivers, I guess, of this team, I would say get rid of Denzel Mims at all costs at this point, even though I was screaming his name pretty much earlier in the offseason. Everything just doesn't look good. You know, new coaching staff, bring Corey Davis to pretty much take over what he does. And he's working with the second team. I know it's early in the offseason still, but like Keelan Cole, it rubs me the wrong way just because it's 1 year removed from being a second round pick. It's like, come on. Give him some.
Whiteside.
What?
Arcega-Whiteside.
Got a little something in my throat.
Not even close to Arcega-Whiteside. Not even.
He was a complete.
They were picked at almost the same draft. You were just saying second round picks. I was just saying that doesn't mean shit.
Well, no, it's second round draft capital. I mean, that's pretty substantial. Team just throws away a second round pick after barely using him just because you got a new coaching staff and you brought in a 28-year-old free agent who hasn't done much.
Wouldn't be the first time.
It doesn't have to be the first time. It's just not a smart move, I would say. Especially when you're not in a win-now mode. Why, like, what is the infatuation with Keelan Cole? What is it?
I don't know. You'd have to ask for Joe Douglas.
There are people with infatuations with Keelan Cole?
Yeah, the Jets have loved this man like for the last
the
3
Jets
seasons.
Have? Seriously?
Yeah, apparently back when Joe Douglas was with the Eagles, they tried to trade for him.
Yeah.
Joe Douglas just cannot get enough of this man. I don't know what it is.
Him up in the dynasty league.
I mean, I don't mind Keelan Cole, but like, I didn't know anyone was like targeting this man.
Joe Douglas.
Hard.
Joe.
I mean,
Joe.
More power to you.
Joe.
Is Elijah Moore going to be a top 25 wide receiver
This year?
No.
Yeah. I would say he gets pretty damn close. I would definitely say top 30.
I'm going to say that by the time the season's
Top
over,
30
his
is fair.
scoring average will resemble that of a wide receiver, too.
I say high-end wide receiver 3.
I think that at the back end of the first round of your dynasty drafts, where the running backs are kind of pushing him backwards, you should hop right on board that train. Any quarterback and or Michael Carter you see going before him, you should celebrate and happily snap him up afterwards.
I agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of running backs, Jets backfield.
Michael Carter. And other guys who are irrelevant.
Technically existing.
They aren't existing, though.
Tevin Coleman exists for the first month of the season.
He is a shell of the potential he once provided your teams.
That's a
keyword potential, not actually like player. It was always potential. He was never the player you expected him to be. And
Coleman had a couple
what?
solid
It's going
seasons.
to stay that way. Solid. I mean, maybe kind of, but like.
He had a couple games, I would say.
Games. Okay,
seasons.
games. A lot of
expect.
running backs had a couple
Solid
games. You can't
seasons.
call
Oh, yeah.
it.
That's
I
not
mean,
good.
a lot
Not
of them.
I'm sticking with he had some solid seasons. I'm not saying to go get him now, though.
Especially
Then they got
everybody
Ty Johnson, the epitome of hype from years past.
saying
Hype is a strong word.
He was hyped up. He
For,
was hyped up maybe
a
by the
couple of
Detroit fans. Yeah, for a couple of weeks. All of a sudden,
Detroit
there's
fans?
Ty Johnson.
What Detroit fans?
I don't know. I was watching
Detroit
the
fans.
Lions game back when they were talking about him. This little stretch of Ty Johnson week. It's like Shark Week, but Ty Johnson week.
He said sure.
And no one's looking for
the
a
announcers
YouTube.
were like, these Detroit fans are so excited about this young man, Ty Johnson. They really
And that's
believe
just
in his
airway filler.
talent."
Detroit don't have fans. You should have caught that right away. Should have known that was he's lying. He said Detroit fans. They don't have fans.
But
Get
yeah,
the fuck out of here.
and then LaMichael P. I don't know. Is P.
I would
Ryan
forget
the
about
next guy? I think P. Ryan, I don't know, might be the next guy up. Who knows?
Probably the biggest threat to stealing touches from anyone in that offense, because Ty Johnson doesn't exist and Tevin Coleman is already injured.
Wait, is LaMichael P. Ryan is 23 years old?
How old did you think he was?
Not my age.
You mean, are you looking for lower or higher?
No, he's older. I mean, maybe where was he?
You think it's
years
Samaje?
past?
You think it's Samaje?
Maybe
Florida.
Samaje P. Ryan. Yeah,
On the Bengals.
that's got to be it.
I believe Michael P. Ryan went to Florida, I think.
He was drafted by the Jets.
Last
like,
year, yeah.
The fourth round or
Maybe
something? Maybe even later than that.
all this time I've been thinking it's Michael P. Ryan.
Michael.
So Michael.
Samaje.
Samaje, whatever. It's P.
We're
Ryan,
just
the P. Ryan
combining them.
bros.
P. Ryan, bro. I don't think they're related, to be honest.
No, do not believe so.
Well, they probably.
They're not relevant.
You guys want to hear about something that is relevant, though?
Yeah, Ed, you go ahead.
If you say Chris Herndon, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
Kenny Yeboah.
Oh.
I mean, I disagree, but you didn't say Chris Herndon, so I'm not going to leave.
Fair. I
Tell
think
us about
Yeboah
this,
is a
man.
nice little dynasty stash. No way redraft. None of them. None of the tight ends there
Probably
redraft.
better than Herndon.
Who? Yeboah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
The Boa. Dude, they're stocked up on freaking tight ends.
Shitty tight ends.
Yeah. Ryan Griffin was. He was.
The game that he caught like 3 touchdowns in a few years ago. Everyone had him, and then he immediately got hurt. Go Jets.
They're like the Bears of last year. They've got like 6 or 7 tight ends here. Like, what the fuck?
Facts.
So then they're going to trade for Jimmy Graham. He'll catch like 9 red zone touchdowns. Because
It's not wished out upon Kenny Yeboah.
So what about you, Bo? What makes him more special than Ryan Griffin?
He was going to
Chris
be
Herndon?
before
His name is Ryan Griffin.
before I did these diamond dynasty dumpster dive things. I had like an actual like kind of like a fire sale type of thing of like a bunch of like low name, if you're in like a 16 team like league like us, people you should stash from this year's draft class that are undrafted or just don't have much hype behind them. He was undrafted, much like much like nobody else. He was the second most guaranteed money among all players in the undrafted free agent pool, right? I feel like money kind of talks, and the fact that the tight ends in front of him are nobody. I don't know. He's athletic. He had big games against Alabama. Alabama, one of the best defenses, one of the best schools in college football. And it's athletic, 22 years old, Ole Miss. You got swag, undrafted, with a lot of guaranteed money. It's like 5th round guaranteed money on average or something like that it was, which looked nice. I don't know. There's a couple things in there, but he's nice. I mean, anybody's worth like a late bench stash. I mean, at this point, who are we drafting?
Yeah.
Mitchell Trubisky.
I just
Royce
took Trayvon
Freeman was
Grimes,
my last
and I
pick.
still have 4 more picks.
Yeah, I think Kenny Yeboah went like 19th round too. So.
Which
Well,
is the
early.
equivalent of like the 25th round in a regular 12-team draft. So
Yeah, so pretty
Yeah,
much
checks out.
literally like the last person on your team.
We'll take him over Chris Herndon.
I would too. I would definitely too. That's all I got to say about my man.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like we're done with the Jets here. Not a
Jets
whole
are
lot here.
taking off. Who we got next?
The Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. All right, we're going to get into this. Your coach of the Dolphins, the very fiery Brian Flores, who so far is proving to be like literally the only good coach in the Belichick coaching tree. And I say good coach lightly because my man hasn't done it quite yet. Now, this is also pending Joe Judge, who I believe they both went like 5-11, I think, but there were at least some positives.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, this tree, of course, features highlights such as Matt Patricia, Romeo Crennel, and my personal favorite, Bill O'Brien. So, not very good company there. So, good luck, Mr. Flores. I hope you don't end up like the last guys, for your own sake, not for the Dolphins' sake. Screw the Dolphins. Now, your quarterback. That did not go as I expected, honestly. I was a big Tua fan. I was on the Tua over Herbert train.
You stupid.
But not a great first impression. Now, how is the offseason going so far? No, not good, huh? Oh, it's unfortunate. I don't care if it's raining. Get over it. Now, good luck, Dolphins fans. You guys might have the better Alabama quarterback, but you better fucking hope so, because that first is going to be looking pretty tasty if you're wrong. But we'll get back to that. How did the offseason go? The Dolphins did one of my favorite things this offseason. They cut Kyle Van Noy a year into his contract. Yet another example of a guy who leaves New England, signs a huge deal with the team. That team immediately feels buyer's remorse, cuts him. The guy goes back to New England, probably just to win a few more rings because life is terrible. So look for that to happen. They also signed Will Fuller, which I thought was actually a pretty good signing. 1 year, solid little flyer. If he's good, he's good. If he's not, it's just a year. But then the draft. And I'll tell you what. Player A. Player B. You traded an extra first for player B. So he better be pretty fucking good. And yeah, good luck with that. Now, I think they had a couple of good value picks later on, like Holland, the safety from Oregon, and Hunter Long. I don't know a whole lot about the defensive end from Miami or the Notre Dame tackle, but neither do you, because you're not a Dolphins fan because they don't exist. So who cares? They did some other stuff too, but it's really not important. All you need to know is that they let a certain someone walk, and you don't let that man walk if you have the chance. Predictions. This is honestly a tough one for me. Maybe the hardest so far. Now, I'll probably get like 34 to 36 of these wrong out of like the 32 teams, but this is a tough one. So I'm giving them a floor of 6-11 and a ceiling of 12-5. That's right. I don't fucking know what's going to happen, right? Ask me in February. I'll have a better answer for you then. Guys, what do we got in fantasy?
Very close to a floor of 0-17 and a ceiling of 17-0. I like it. I like it.
I'm going to give them a floor of 0-17 and a ceiling of 2-15. May hell rain down on the Dolphins like no one has ever seen before.
Only Tua has seen it in practice. Speaking of Tua, we got Tua Tagovailoa, quarterback of the Dolphins. He's got some weapons this year. You know what I'm saying? Will Fuller, Jalen Waddle, Watson Parker still there. Preston Williams might come back and do something. Doesn't have a running back. Maybe he does. Myles Gaskin. I don't really think anything special with that, but they supposedly a report just came out today on Twitter. I seen it, and Dolphins are looking to be more aggressive downfield. I'm pretty sure last year they were one of the least aggressive teams. Like
they brought in the pieces for it.
Oh yeah, they got a bunch of playmakers downfield. Tua-wise, now, Brandon, I feel like I know the answer for you. Alex, I don't know the answer for you. It's probably the same as Brandon's, but would you feel comfortable with Tua as your quarterback in redraft?
Quarterback.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
No,
Start now.
No.
I feel like I couldn't imagine, like, if you're drafting a quarterback late, I feel like you could pick up another guy.
I said, if you're just playing in a 12-team league, how the fuck do you end up with only Tua? How does that even happen?
You made a pretty huge mistake.
That implies that pretty much everyone else was drafting backups, and you were like,
I mean, if that's the case, like, if that were to happen, then sure. Like, if everyone's taking up a roster spot to draft backup quarterbacks, then, I mean, you got the more players to pick from, and you ended up with Tua, which things could be worse.
yeah, I would not be thrilled about that. Ed?
Can't tell if he froze or not.
Temporarily.
Back.
Oh, there he is.
I froze? Great.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
You're good now.
Ignore
That's just for like a few seconds.
Alrighty, so you have – I was looking at the ADP to see where he's getting drafted. So he is getting drafted at 22. Yeah.
Like 22nd quarterback?
Yeah. But it's also under players like Wentz, Cousins, Baker Mayfield, Ben Roethlisberger. I would not take him under any of those quarterbacks. Matt Ryan, I would also probably not take him under.
Take Matt Ryan over him in redraft.
Trey Lance going quarterback 24, which is a head scratcher. But I don't know the accuracy of this, I guess. But yeah, I would feel pretty comfortable too. I'm not gonna lie. The reasoning, he's got the playmakers, is really it, and put some faith into him, I guess. And if not, you can play waiver wire quarterbacks.
Yeah.
It's pretty much you're not drafting a quarterback if you're going to with your quarterback. So I don't know. I'm comfortable with it. Obviously, you could do better, but for redraft, I think he's a decent quarterback. Now, where are we going to go with this one? Dynasty. You guys have any confidence in him?
Yeah. In Dynasty, sure. Yeah. Well, I want to say, like, if you're playing the waiver wire, like, you're streaming quarterbacks, and that's your plan going into the season, sure, I take Tua. Because if that's my plan going into the season, at least I get a young quarterback going into sophomore year, and you might see improvement instead of getting like Kirk Cousins or Carson Wentz, who you kind of know what you're getting out of. So if your plan is to stream quarterbacks and you plan on just picking up a Ryan Fitzpatrick in the free agency a week later or whatever your plan is, I feel like Tua isn't a bad way to go. But if you plan on like having him along the ride for a long period of time as your clear-cut starter, then I wouldn't have that expectation.
That's fair.
If that makes sense. Now in Dynasty, I wouldn't mind having him, and I feel like in Dynasty you would probably, if you're doing it right, you probably have him as a backup. So I guess if you do a start like a Dynasty startup draft, you might have him as a starter, but I don't know. I feel I just would assume that he wouldn't be like your QB1.
I thought the uncertainty with his future and possibility of not even being a starter next year would actually make you guys more turned off the fact of him in dynasty rather than redraft. But I guess redraft does make sense because there's 12 quarterbacks, yada yada yada. But I don't know. I have him in dynasty, obviously, so I'm in a place right now with him. I kind of like him, and I think he's going to have his weeks. I obviously like him in redraft, but that's just my opinion. So
I'd like him in dynasty.
Yeah.
I mean, I had him. I was the one who traded him to you, and I think I drove the price down more than I'd like to. I remember I was like, you offered up a second round pick, and then I was like, that's a good second. Like, that's a pretty good second. I have my quarterback. I've got decent backups, and I was like all in. And then I played my hand too much.
Yeah, you gave me a second, a third, and two for Patrick's second.
Yeah, which in my defense, that's probably like a top 5 at the worst pick. So I got a little gun ho there. But
All righty, let's talk about the wide receivers, I guess, huh? Devontae Parker, Jalen Waddle, and Will Fuller. Who you taking above who? I guess Will Fuller would probably be the obvious one, right?
Yeah.
I don't like him. I don't want to touch him.
Well,
I'd rather have Fuller than the other two in a redraft.
Honestly, I don't want any of them.
And I don't really got picked.
I don't really want either of them
for the game. Like,
I mean,
you can't be like, who's gonna get out these 3, and then just be like, I want none of them. Yeah.
Well, no. Who do you want? Like, who do you want?
I would take Fuller. I would take him.
Do you want him, or are you just gonna pick him over the top, or like above among the 3? You're gonna go Will Fuller.
I would go Will Fuller. Yeah, I would want him, and
I
feel like
redraft,
you could probably
I would easily want him compared to the other two.
Because I feel like you could get him as you could probably fill your running back and wide receiver set, and then use him as a flex.
Yeah,
I feel like that's around
true.
the time you'd need to take him, and I feel like Fuller as a flex play is better than, like we discussed last week on last week's podcast, Odell Beckham as your flex play. I believe that was a situation over Fuller.
Yeah.
Much rather have Fuller. Much rather have Fuller. Yeah. That's not even close.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ed.
I mean, he's a wide receiver 1 when he's on the field.
Yeah, I think
Deshaun Watson he was. So no offense to Tua, but Tua's not Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. Especially getting the deep ball to him more accurately, 100%.
I think he'll be fine. Obviously, Watson is better than Tua, but as long as he's on the field, I feel like he'll be fine. Maybe he won't be like as good, but I'll take that over Odell.
I'd probably rather have Waddle at his price than I would have Will Fuller. Devontae Parker's a meh to me. So.
Yeah, I don't really care about Parker anymore. I don't want Waddle either, honestly, in any circumstance, because I feel like he's maybe getting a little bit too much hype, but I'm just prepared to watch that happen.
Is he getting hype?
I feel like he's going higher in rookie drafts than other receivers that I'd rather have.
I think just based off draft capital, honestly.
Yeah.
I remember before the draft, we did rankings for these rookies. I listed Jalen Waddle pretty low, and you guys gave me so much shit for it. And now it's kind of like, yeah, I remember I had a few guys ahead of him, and you guys were.
Yeah, you had Diami Brown ahead of him.
Yeah, I feel like we were just giving you shit for that. I feel like that was pretty much it. I mean, my opinion of Waddle has.
I think I had Rondale Moore ahead of him, and I remember that was disgusting. It was awful.
I feel like those two were very like similar-ish players, except Waddle maybe didn't perform better because Waddle was like didn't really play a whole lot. So yeah, I don't know. I'm good on that. I'm gonna let someone else deal with that. I'm out on pretty much all of Miami.
You don't like the chemistry between Tua and Waddle?
I do.
I don't want any of it. I took Will Fuller in the dynasty draft because there was literally no receivers after him.
Yeah, that was the guy I was going after.
I couldn't even believe after I made that pick the other receivers that were on the board. I was like, holy shit, I didn't even realize that.
I got to go back and look at who I picked after him. I want to see because I remember I think I might have traded back, to be honest.
I just know that receivers after him were
We were looking at
very good.
Brandon Cooks, Terrace Marshall, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Rager, Darnell Mooney, Mike Williams, Marquise Brown. Oh, that might be a spicy one. I'd probably take Marquise Brown over Will Fuller.
I just want to see Will Fuller. So, yeah, I traded back, and I was hoping to get Darnell Mooney, but then someone took Mooney, and I ended up getting Kadarius Toney. But I moved back a whole round, and I got 2 players. I needed a quarterback at that place, so I got Tannehill. But regardless, Will Fuller is probably my favorite. You say running back?
Oh, no, go ahead. Will Fuller's your favorite top 3?
Yeah, I was just saying he's my favorite out of the 3. I do like the chemistry between Waddle and Tua. So, I mean, if Waddle's ADP falls, fuck it. Just end up taking him. If he's a bench stash, why not? You'll probably end up seeing whether or not he's utilized by week 1 or week 2. So, take him, run with it. It's like, who are you really drafting around around Waddle and redraft? Probably guys like I don't even know. I can't even like gauge where he's at in the ADP. But
I'd rather have some of the other rookies, I think.
Like who?
That's fair.
I would take Elijah Moore over Waddle.
Well, I feel like Elijah Moore is going to be significantly higher by at least a round or 2.
I don't know. I haven't seen any redraft ADPs yet.
He's looking at Laviska Shenault, Corey Davis, AB, Michael Gallup, T.Y. Hilton, Marvin Jones, Devontae Parker. Devontae Parker's above him.
Why is Laviska Shenault in with those names?
That's a good
Shenault.
question. Hell if I know. And Marvin
That's
Jones in with those names.
It's a little too low. All right.
Running
Do
backs.
we care about running back here? It's like Myles Gaskin
yeah.
for like a season, and like someone named Jared Dokes is there.
I feel like somebody's going to pop up on this team.
Miami
like
is
Malcolm
prime
Brown.
territory for a James Robinson-esque emergence like last year. I'll be damned if I know who that's going to be. It's not.
I meant like some veteran's going to pop up here.
Like Todd Gurley?
Todd Gurley.
Le'Veon Bell?
No.
Le'Veon Bell. Come to Miami. Enjoy your enjoy the last end of your career at Miami.
Le'Veon Bell is trying his hardest to not get signed to another team again.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was all about with the whole Andy Reid shit, but
not smart is what
Patrick
Stop.
Lard. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Ed. Stop. Just don't. We're not doing this.
Tight ends? Come on, let's hear some tight ends. Ed, you're the tight end whisperer.
Mike
Gesicki is going to – what's he got? Like 2 more years in his deal or something like that?
Yeah,
Gesicki?
like
He's going to continue to be that guy that did better than he thought he did, but not good enough for it to matter. And then hopefully Hunter Long can step in and just do the same exact thing for a couple of seasons, and then they'll move on to somebody else.
Facts, not fiction. Let's get on to the third team.
Not
New addition.
Tired of the Dolphins. Oh man. Speaking of shit that I'm tired of. New England Patriots. Your coach, the Dark Lord himself, Bill Belichick. Seriously, man. Am I supposed to
The
believe
cult leader.
that you only stole the Bengals playbook that year? They won, like, what, 1 fucking game? Am I supposed to believe that you only stole their playbook? That's the team we needed to cheat for, not the Ravens, not whoever the hell else was good that season. The Bengals. The Bengals that finished with the worst record. Like, that's the team we had to cheat for? Yeah, I don't know about that. I disagree. Anyway, besides that, there have been a lot of comments so far this offseason about how New England is only ever because of Brady and not because of Bill. And, you know, I mean, that's true to a point because, like, Brady's Brady. And, like, you're not getting the 6 Super Bowls or whatever, 5 or whatever the fuck it was without him. 6. Because, you know, he's Brady. But keep in mind, they still managed to go 7-9 with Cam Newton and his corpse of his shoulder playing QB.
11th play for the Patriots. And it's intercepted by him.
And, like, see that there's not going to do it. B, no receivers to speak of outside of Ed's favorite player in the world. And C, a defense that pretty much opted out in unison last year. So we should all just go ahead and hope that Mac Jones doesn't pan out, or else we're just going to be in for more of the same bullshit. Now, speaking of Mac Jones, that's the quarterback, not Newton. I know that Newton's going to start this season, but Newton is not determining their future trajectory. He's just a placeholder in the same way that Jimmy G exists in San Francisco for now. And, Andy Dalton as well. But the guy that's determining your future in New England is this man right here.
I'll finish the sentence for him. Quarterback, Alabama. Mac Jones, the Nick Saban, Bill Belichick connection. Look how quickly he is moving his way down that tunnel. Louis Riddick, you are smart.
Now, hopefully he's more Jimmy than Brady, because I can't deal with this shit for another 15 years. I won't have it. Now, how did the offseason go? We did a very un-Belichick thing. We spent a fuck ton of money, especially on offense. By my count, $126 million on 4 different guys. And sure, some of that money isn't ever going to see those players, but shut up. Don't ruin my narrative. That's my narrative. Leave it alone. Now, $126 million, man, that's a lot. And who are those 4 guys, you might ask?
Kenny Galladay.
What the fuck are you talking about? Jonnu Smith, Hunter Henry, Nelson Aguilar, and Kendrick Bourne, all of whom work from the best spot on the field. So that's neat.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
They also signed some solid front 7 guys, but you don't care about that. And this isn't exactly an off-season move, but they will get half their defense back from not opting out, hopefully for their sake, including the aforementioned Kyle Van Noy. So that's unfortunate. They also got Trent Brown back in another case of the guy who left New England only to come right back. So that's also annoying. In the draft, obviously, Jones, that's the big name. They also snagged some defensive dudes who fell in some of the later rounds that will probably be all pros from day one because the world sucks, as well as a running back that everyone likes, despite the fact that this backfield has been, and always will be a fucking minefield. So I don't really even feel the need to mention that. We'll get there. Now, anything else that happened is irrelevant. Take my word for it. Prediction-wise, I'm going to give him a floor of 7-10 and a ceiling of 12-5 with potentially great defense and acceptable quarterback play driving that. Hopefully that will not be the case, and hopefully they will not be in the playoffs because it is someone else's turn. Please retire, Bill. I'm sick of this shit.
A lot more precise than the last team. Their range.
Slightly.
Yeah. I like it. I like the record prediction. I like the little talk. Definitely agree on a lot of things, especially with Cam Newton probably being starter week 1.
Yeah.
Mac Jones being the starter from there on out. Now, Mac Jones.
Mac.
I don't know what to make of him. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do. I traded for him in Dynasty thinking, maybe they surround him with, the talent like they have. Hunter Henry, Jonnu Smith, and then a bunch of scrubs to kind of look cool while Jacoby Myers takes over. By the way, thank you for the shout out, Alex. But I don't know. I really don't know what to make of him, because he had all these weapons at Alabama, And then you have these weapons, Kendrick Bourne, Nelson Aguilar.
So they basically signed 4 slot receivers.
Literally, they have
to go with their slot receiver.
Yeah, and to go with their 2 tight ends. So they don't really have anybody really play outside. It's strange.
I don't know if it's legal to stack slot receivers, but I want them to do that.
That'd be interesting.
Just 4 of them in a vertical line.
That would be a Patriots thing, and then
Patriots.
They would break the league with that, and then you would hate the Patriots from there.
And then every other team would copy it, and it wouldn't work at all.
No, not at all. Though, I'm pretty sure nobody. The quarterbacks redraft nobody. I'm not touching them. Unless Mac Jones gets hurt, Cam Newton might be a decent waiver wire quarterback, just because rushing touchdowns, whatever.
I guess technically.
If Cam Newton is not starting, however, you have Mac Jones starting. That gives the running back some life. You know what I mean? Because they have the ability to get those touches that they weren't getting, especially red zone touches that Cam Newton's been stealing from them. Great robbery. You got to show a picture of Cam Newton just running right now with I don't know. He's robbing him. He's robbing him. Damian Harris. Is he the running back one here?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was very quick and clear. Um,
Were you not expecting that?
Well,
I mean, that's still subject to change. I don't take back what I said about them being a minefield.
that's fair. That is fair, yeah. At the moment, I guess he is the running back one. So don't know why I asked the question. James White, is he relevant at all?
Maybe.
I don't think so.
It might be if Mac Jones plays a lot. But I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I've yet to see Mac Jones play. I don't know what he's going to do. Maybe he's going to try to be Brady and he's going to check it down all the time.
If Mac Jones is good, I see this offense being highly successful.
Highly?
Highly successful.
Solid.
I like it a lot.
Like top 10 scoring successful?
Possibly. I know that's a hot take, but I really like what they did. I think it could work. They're successful. These pieces play right into what they used to have. I mean, I know it's not Tom Brady, obviously, but
I was going to say,
I mean,
you
the
mean
play
Tom Brady?
calling is still the same.
Also, I don't think either of them is Robert Gronkowski.
I'm not saying
And
they
neither of those
are,
guys are
but
Julian Edelman.
they're still two really good tight ends, athletic tight ends. That's played well, and also their wide receivers they brought in. I mean, yeah, they're not Julian Edelman, but Nelson Aguilar, when he plays hot, he plays hot. Like,
I
especially
feel like
if it's
both
a
of them are
scheme to
worse
play
than the
into
receiver
his-
that they still currently have. And Nelson Aguilar's better as a guy that you kind of forget's on the team, which is why he gets open. Oh, shit, he plays there. Oh, God, I didn't even know that.
I don't know. I see this team as a underdog. I like it. I like underdog teams, and I like this offense, to be honest. At first, I was like, what
not
the
your
fuck are
friend
they
anymore.
doing with the two tight ends? But I've grown to actually kind of like it.
It's interesting to say the least. I'm not going to bet against them because it's the Patriots, you know what I mean? But if it was any other team with this, wide receiving group,
Oh, yeah.
running backs, it would be no. I'm
Yeah,
out.
no, I totally agree. Like, if it was any other team, any other coach, I'd be like, they're insane. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've seen this same coach have, I mean, similar, maybe an off-brand like roster, and he made it work.
I think they
And
had
I
the
can
on
see
brand.
the potential
This is the
of-
great value.
Yeah, that's what
brand
I'm saying. This is
roster.
the off-brand roster, but off-brand foods can still be just as delicious and at a discount. So fuck it. Buy your
I don't
Nelson
think
Aguilars.
they got a I don't know if you heard me, but that wasn't discount. Did you miss the
I know. That's
126
why
million?
I said you'd think they would have signed Kenny
not obviously.
Galladay with that number. I'm saying in fantasy football, it's a discount. Like, you're buying these wide receivers at a discount. I mean, for me, it's Nelson Aguilar and Jacoby Myers are the two names I'd go after. I even like Jonnu Smith a lot because, I mean, there's been times when Belichick has actually, like, complimented Jonnu in, like, press conferences. I don't know if it was just one time, but
Big
I heard
praise
that
for Belichick.
he did praise Jonnu Smith, and then he immediately signed him.
The
Like,
fact that he
that was
hasn't
his
left him
priority.
outside to starve is honestly a good sign.
Yeah, well. No, I'm low-key excited for this offense.
If
I think
I
there's some
ever
upside.
hear you talk about rooting for the Patriots again, I will beat you a brick.
I root for them now because it's a different regime.
No, it's not.
I mean, different. Tom
it's
Brady's
not.
not there. Come on, it's different. It's a
Okay,
different
but the guy
feel.
that cheated against us at the Super Bowl is still there.
Oh, I don't hold
has
grudges. I
no
guess we
response to
beat
that
them years later. So I mean,
Doesn't matter.
I'm intrigued by Ramondre Stevenson and Dynasty. Just want to put that out there.
I know we'd get there. Just giving it time.
No, I'm just going to say that. There's not much to it, to be honest.
I mean, we were just going to not mention him.
I haven't brought it up because I know we've talked about Ramondre a lot.
Yeah, we have.
I have.
Yeah. Is Sony Michelle in a body bag?
Oh, is Sony Michelle in a body bag? I think Sony Michelle is
He's in the
a body
morgue.
bag.
He already completed the autopsy on himself.
I'm surprised they even cut his ass.
I think he will be soon.
Maybe Belichick will be doing the
I don't
autopsy,
think
cutting him.
there's any way that he'll be on the roster the following season. So,
At all.
No way.
yeah, I don't know where it all went wrong. I feel like maybe he just wasn't that good at Georgia.
It's fair.
Your friendly reminder that they took him in the first and Nick Chubb went in the second. They were both from the same school.
Oh, God.
Pain.
Well, that's a segue right out of this team.
We're done with this team? I guess we are done.
I am. I mean,
I'm
No,
done.
we
don't tell
covered
me
pretty
twice.
much everyone.
Buffalo Bills, we're moving on. Your coach, Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott. I mean, boring but effective, I suppose. I guess it's just because it's Buffalo. I mean, the idea of Buffalo is boring. Regardless, dude's been a good coordinator and a solid head coach. I mean, Buffalo's seen good times under him for the most part. They broke their playoff drought, yada, yada, yada. They've done good. Except for this. Nathan Peterman. Enough said. This man brought you that. Nathan Peterman, brought to you by Sean McDermott. Never forget. Speaking of quarterbacks, your quarterback, not Peterman anymore, unfortunately. Josh Allen, who, as far as I'm aware of, used to suck. I mean, shit, if this was last year, I'd be making fun of him. But now he probably, I think he's one of the most exciting dudes in the game up there at the Mahomes, Watsons, Lamars of the world. Dude put a lot of effort into changing his throwing mechanics and just the way he plays football, and it really paid off. Although management is clearly trying to push this a bit too far with Trubisky, man. I mean, the dude's already turned his own career around. Don't ask him to do it again. You're putting a lot on this man's plate. Now, as for the offseason, not really a whole lot going on there. I mean, you're already a title contender, so I guess you're just doing some tweaks. They re-signed some pretty important free agents like Milano, some linemen, whatever. We don't care. We swapped out one effective old guy in John Brown for another effective old guy in Emmanuel Sanders. That's neat. In the draft, we went end, tackle. Boring.
Boring.
So, no one watching this gives a shit about that. So I'll just get right into the predictions here. They should be poised for another very good season, enough to beat the Chiefs. Yeah, I'm giving them a better chance than the Browns. Put it that way. Say a floor of 11-6 and a ceiling of 15-2, and even I will not outright dismiss them.
Did you bring up their signed quarterback that they picked up? Trubisky?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah,
Want
he
to make
said-
sure we didn't
I
skip
think I
over.
said, and I quote,
Mitch.
management is clearly trying to push this a bit too far with Trubisky. Josh Allen already turned his own career around. Don't ask him to do it twice.
Word for word. That was beautiful.
Something like that. You're already asking
But,
him to win a Super Bowl. Now you want him to turn Mitch Trubisky's career around? Bro, come on now. Oh, there are only so many hours in the day.
Very
Yeah.
true. All right,
I
boys.
mean, all jokes aside, I mean, solid backup quarterback, but I'm going to make fun of him regardless.
Yeah.
All righty, we got Josh Allen. Are you taking Josh Allen?
Yes. No, keep going.
Yes, for Brandon.
Are you
Taking him.
taking him above any of these names listed? Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson.
I'd take him over Kyler Murray.
Wow. I don't think I'm taking him over any of them.
I think I might take him over Lamar too.
I was going to, honestly, I
honestly
kind of
think
feel
I
that way
would.
too. I would have Mahomes at 1, and then the next 3 guys are. My thing is, though, I feel like those 4 dudes are going to be all collecting top 5 finishes for a lot of time. So it's just really going to be a matter of what year it happens to be. I mean, Mahomes was 1 the previous year. Allen was 1, or no, Mahomes was 1 2 years ago, then Lamar, and now Allen. Maybe it's Kyler next year. Maybe it's Mahomes the next year. Maybe it's Allen. I feel like we're kind of just splitting hairs at that point.
I
If you
mean,
want an elite quarterback, those 4 guys are none of those are bad options.
For me, it's Mahomes is 1, Josh Allen's 2A, Kyler's 2B, Lamar's 3.
I would say Kyler 1, Lamar 2, Mahomes 3, Allen 4. A little straight.
Fair. The only things that I see with Kyler, I mean, obviously, I think it's within his outcomes. I'm not taking that away from him. Absolutely not. What I do think is taking away from him is Cliff Kingsbury.
Cliff will be fired soon enough. So,
well, I mean, if that's the
that's
case,
a redraft
then sure.
concern, but that's not a dynasty
But
concern. I think they're going to fire his ass this year after they underachieve again, and someone's like, "Wow, what the hell's going wrong here?"
That is my concern with that. And it's not even a concern. Like, if I had the chance, I would take Kyler. So it's like I'm not taking Kyler because of it. I'm just more excited for Josh Allen. And between Josh Allen and Lamar, I don't know. I feel like I like Josh Allen's arm better than I do Lamar's arm. And I feel like, I mean, Lamar's the best rusher, QB running quarterback in the NFL. But, I mean, I think Josh Allen's arm makes up for that difference.
My thing is that last year Allen had a lot of success, in a kind of Mahomes-like way, in plays that have already broken down, and that's kind of hard to scheme for as a defense. You saw defenses kind of they didn't shut down Lamar, but I think they had a better plan of attack to stopping him, in year 2, or I guess technically year 3. But I think with Allen, that's kind of just a struggle because he can run and he can pass. And, when you can throw a ball 60 yards while sprinting out of bounds, and you've got the vision to do that, and you've got the eyes to make all of those throws, it's kind of hard to keep him down. I think he should continue to put up numbers.
Oh, he will. Oh, yes, for sure.
Regresses.
Alrighty. Well, that's a guarantee. Josh Allen, if you need a good quarterback, is a good quarterback, point blank, period.
Who'd have thought we'd be saying that?
2 years ago.
Not me.
Really, who would have thought about that?
I honestly, even going back to that playoff game against the Texans, I don't think he was good in it. I think they had a good opening quarter, and that rushing touchdown they had was good. But I think the receiving touchdown he had and the rush that set up that drive was good. But I think most of that game was then spent him playing poorly.
I will say 2 years ago, I was hyped about Josh Allen. A year ago, I wasn't, and then now I'm back to more.
This should be a lesson to every bust out there. It doesn't have to be because the dude put a ton of work in, overhauling the way he played the sport, and it clearly worked out. So if you struggle, look at him.
Mr.
You may change throwing hands.
It's a worthwhile strategy.
Alrighty, let's get into, I guess, running backs, just because I feel like there's more discussion here, I guess you would say. Singletary or Moss or even Breda?
Moss.
Yeah, I agree.
Who's the third name you said?
Breda. Matt Breda.
Oh, yeah. He went there. No.
I'm still going Moss.
Yeah, I've been – the thing is with Moss, I've been liking him too much, I guess you could say, to a fault. He's good individually, creating yards and whatnot and just breaking tackles, but the volume's not there, one. The red zone carries he's not getting. That's another negative. And the fact that he's splitting carries with Singletary and his receiving works null. It's it's not a good recipe, but at the same time, I still see the possibility of him being selfish. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he's better than Singletary, but I don't really want running backs from that backfield.
I want to say the same thing, but at the same time, the offense is just so high powered. And say if Singletary does go down, Zach Moss gets all those carries, and he might still have possibility of putting touchdowns on top of that. So it's his range of outcomes is probably the widest, I guess I would say, of the group.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think their ceiling is just capped a bit by the way that Josh Allen plays and the fact that they like to split their running backs up.
True. Very true. All righty, Brandon, any discussion on running backs?
No, you guys covered it.
All right, let's go to these people that run out, catch the ball,
Wide outs.
and then dig. Stephon Diggs. How you feeling about Stephon Diggs this year?
He's a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
Indeed.
That's
Indeed.
pretty much it.
That's all she wrote, eh? All right.
Like
You
going to
guys
continue
see
to be an
him-
upper wide receiver 1.
Do you guys see him as like the the up and coming like DeAndre Hopkins?
I mean, isn't he already like 27, 28?
Let me look. He's 27.
I don't really know, like, up and coming.
I mean,
think he's about
DeAndre
his
Hopkins
prime.
was 27 when he was known as like DeAndre Hopkins. Like,
I mean, it clearly took like him moving to Buffalo and getting like more targets to be that guy, but I think he is that guy now.
that's fair. That I have a hard time. Not that I don't think he is. I don't know. I have a hard time thinking of him as like that guy.
I agree.
Not saying he's not.
see
I'm
that
just saying
group-
I'm like hesitant on it, kind of. It's weird.
When I see that group with like Tyreek Hill, Devontae Adams, DeAndre Hopkins, Stephon Diggs, ADP, he's going above DeAndre Hopkins, under Hill and Adams. I see that group, I'm just like, he looks like he shouldn't belong there. But like after last year, you can't really debate
That's
that.
how I'm feeling, and I just wanted to gauge where you guys were at, because like, because that what you just said was exactly how I was feeling. But
Yeah, I
like,
subconsciously think that I try not to say it out loud, but I had to. I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, I don't really have any fear in him because he's in the prime of his career and he's like very clearly the number 1 option on that offense.
but it's fair.
Speaking of number 1 option, let's get into number 2. Who do you guys think will be the second most targeted player on this team? You guys thinking? Let me list some names for you. Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley, Gabriel Davis, Isaiah Hodgins, Dawson Knox.
I mean, I'm going Cole Beasley if he plays more than like 12 games.
That's fair. I mean, he played through like a broken leg last year, didn't he?
Yeah.
Fibula,
Sure.
wasn't it? Pretty
Yeah.
He
sure.
wanted it, something like that. I mean, assuming he's the slot receiver, I think he's
Yeah,
gonna
gotta
get
go with
the most targets. I mean, if he went
Tim
down,
Cole.
then I guess Sanders
Sanders.
enters the conversation.
Yeah.
And like Davis could be a worthwhile flyer.
That's the difference here. It's like I like me some Gabriel Davis last year. I like both of their big wide receivers they drafted, Davis and Hodgins, and like Davis did show up last year with an immense amount of touchdowns, so he had his weeks here and there. But like, if I'm going dynasty wise, I think I want Hodgins, just because like I think we've seen the most out of Davis that we could possibly see. Hodgins, we haven't seen a single speck of anything. He hasn't played, and there's been like comments from Josh Allen, from the coaches and whatnot, saying like the things that he's good at, and it's just like it's strange to hear because he's so big and he has short area quickness that's like amazing, and like there's nobody else other than Stephon Diggs that's that big. Well, Stephon Diggs isn't that big, but you know what I'm saying? Like decent size with also short area quickness and just quickness
They
in
really have
general.
anyone
Has
that-
a catchability. It's like it's a unique skill set he has, and it's kind of intriguing to me in dynasty formats. Obviously, no experience so far, but I mean, I don't know. He's
I like the
intriguing.
sound of it. I don't have much knowledge on this man, but what you just explained as a player, I would stash on my bench.
Yeah, and also the fact that their team is just so pass heavy.
I mean, you can get Hodgins in Dynasty for like literally nothing. So
Yeah, and Gabriel Davis, you would probably have to trade something for him.
exactly. Emmanuel Sanders,
Oh, nah.
really?
I mean, I feel like he's a solid redraft flyer or Dynasty if he's just floating around on the waiver wire.
I agree. I think he should be productive in a few weeks here and there. Obviously, not consistent like he was. Well, was he last year? I don't know, but
He
especially
even
if Cole
know.
Stuff
Beasley.
occasionally. So if Beasley went down for whatever reason, I would assume Sanders would step into that slot receiver role. And then for as long as he stays upright, that would be pretty promising.
It's crazy that he's 34 and still has it. Is he 34? I don't know. I don't fucking know.
I think he's something like that. If he's not yet, he's about to be.
He is 34. And
Well, outside of the wide receivers, unless you guys had more to say about. Okay,
Don't care about
who's the
Dawson
tight
Knox.
end one?
That's
Jacob
actually a good
Hollister?
question. It's a good question.
Or Dawson Knox? I'm gonna call it right here, right now. It's Jacob Hollister.
I'm gonna say Knox, but I'm gonna say that I also don't care about him. So
I'm gonna say
Tyler Croft.
Who did you say?
he's on the Jets.
I was gonna say I know he's not on the Bills. I don't know where he is. But
He's somewhere that I don't know, dude. It's actually kind of hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. I would say Knox just because he's been there for a few years now and he needs to improve. He's gonna improve. It's inevitable.
You
I
would
would
think.
maybe
I
not.
mean, why would they bring in Hollister? I don't know. I'm gonna go Hollister. Let me say Hollister.
I'm going Hollister.
I'm not going to care
You're
about
not
either
playing
of
this
them.
game?
So
Alex doesn't play games.
I don't think they
You know this,
matter.
Brandon?
play fun games, but I don't think either of these guys matter.
Speaking of games, we're hopping on Warzone after this pod.
So like, comment,
to do
share, and
later.
subscribe. Anybody else got any words for these hooligans?
Nope.
Please put all of your negative comments in the chat. I want all of it. I want more
And
hatred.
positive.
Let the hate flow through you.
Brandon,
Doesn't
I'm sure you
indeed-
probably can't chop this out and put it at the beginning, but I want to say shout out to the Germans and the United Kingdom people who listen to our podcast on Spotify. That's dope. It's pretty dope.
That
They
is
probably
dope.
just clicked on
It
one
was
by
neat
accident and said,
seeing
"Let's get
it.
out of here." But I do want to shout them people out because
Now, is it really on accident? Because that's pretty impossible. You would have to search up first choice podcasts, scroll down a ton, and then find ours, accidentally click on it, and then press play. Well,
Maybe they pocket dialed us.
yeah, they pocket played us on
Yeah.
Spotify.
Pocket Spotify'd us.
But nice. We're on Spotify
Hey, man,
if you didn't
we'll
get
take it.
that.
do appreciate all of them, not just the Germans, not just the British, even the Americans and everything in between. I guess that kind of signs us off. What's coming next week, boys?
Beats me. Another division. Stay tuned.
Another division. It's randomized. We randomized it. Who wants to go down the list? We want to do it randomized.
We're not going down the list. I'll throw it in the video. It'll be up there.
All right, without further ado,
Peace out.
peace, Hans.
Later.